What's up, guys? I'm BTC. Got a bunch of Overwatch news for you today, including a new patch with some buffs and nerfs, an update on the PTR status, as well as an update on this new mystery map and some other stuff. So first of all, you might have noticed there are some new visual effects in the videos that I've been making. I've been trying to mess around and improve a little bit more with just how the videos look visually. My hero concepts have gotten way better. Instead of just being, kind of still images, now I've got lots more animation and stuff. The next one, which should be released pretty soon, has a ton of improvements as well. And just in general, hopefully the video quality will be improved. Also, I've been getting a bunch of replay codes from you guys with your great plays and your funny mistakes and stuff. If you have stuff, keep sending it in because I've been working on those videos and hopefully I'll have the first one out soon. Alright, let's get to the news. First up, the PTR update with the new roll queue system and also the improvements to the replays. That probably isn't going to be happening this week. It doesn't look like it. It is most likely going to be sometime next week, so gonna have to wait a little bit longer to test out the new roll queue system. Very quickly, I want to comment on this background. So I believe that this is going to end up being a new map that Blizzard is just kind of teasing with this event. Now, some of the things in this map could possibly have been taken from other maps in the game, and I went and I checked, and funny enough, there really aren't any pillars in the game that are square. Almost everything is round, whether it's Temple of Anubis, it's Ilios, and there's some other maps as well. Almost all of the pillars that are used to support the structures are going to be round and not square. So I couldn't actually find these anywhere in the game. Let me just quickly switch over to some highlight intros, and then you can get kind of like a look around the room while this is going on. And you can see that there are some things that look a little familiar, like the doubled up, the 2 floors of doors and windows. I looked in the Petra map, and it's similar, but it's definitely not the same. So that's different. Also, the large doors on that left-hand side are different. The giant arches on the right. So all of this stuff appears to be completely new, and really the only thing that I could find that was going to be something from another map was the water lilies. And that's from that Ayutthaya map, the Capture the Flag map. That's really the only thing. And maybe the candles too. I'm sure you can find those somewhere else. But for the most part, this area does appear to be original. So the video that I made the other day talking about how we're probably going to get a new map from this does seem to be original. And again, as I said before, I don't think they would put all that effort into making this area if it was just going to be used for a background. That seems like a waste. So I still definitely believe that this is going to be a new map. And now let's take a look at the patch that we just got today. So all of these buffs and nerfs are going to be the same thing that we had in the experimental mode. The only thing that's missing is the Pharah change, where you can move towards the ground a little bit faster. Apparently that was buggy and they need a little more time to work on it, but it will get added at some point. So very quick recap of this. With Ana, now you can throw the bionades through teammates that have full health. They nerfed Brigitte's health from 175 down to 150, so her total health is once again going to be 200 because part of that is armor. You can cancel the storm arrows. You can now destroy the ice wall. Next up is Moira, who got a nice little buff to her healing. It's not an incredibly massive amount of extra healing you're going to get. It's maybe an extra second or two, but it's still definitely nice to have that little bit of extra healing for the character. With Symmetra, she can now destroy the teleporter while she's dead, and same thing with Torbjorn. He can now destroy the turret. So those are all of the changes. Pretty much everything here is quality of life, except for Moira, which is just a flat buff, and for Brigitte, which is a flat nerf. Now, the thing with Brigitte, and I know there's lots of people that complain about this character, there are legitimate problems with this character in the upper bracket. She is simply too strong for the amount of effort that you need to put into this character in Masters and particularly in GM. But the fact is that this character is also utterly worthless in the lower bracket. Bronze through Platinum and even into a chunk of Diamond, Brigitte is just absolute garbage, and oftentimes more of a detriment than a benefit. So there are problems with this character, and I need to make a full video on this. I've already started working on it. There are simply no ways that you can change this character as she currently exists that's going to make it good for both the lower and the upper bracket. Now, I know the thing is, when you are trying to balance a game, generally a top-down method is going to be the best because you want to balance the characters around the players that are using them optimally. However, keep in mind that GM is only like 1% or less than 1% of the entire player base, and the lower bracket makes up over 90% of the player base. So you can't say, well, we're just going to balance the character for this very, very small group of players, and everybody else, you're on your own, right? That's not a good idea. That is a terrible, terrible way to try to balance the game and just game design in general. I mean, you have new players that start out in the game, and then they're told not to play this character because it's so bad, and that's just not something that you should have in your game. But again, the problem with this character is, let's say, for the sake of argument, after this nerf, she is in a great spot in GM. Just for the sake of argument, let's say that she's almost as close to perfect as you can get for GM, but she's still going to be absolute garbage for 90% of the player base. Well, what do? Do you buff the character to try to make her a little bit better for that lower bracket, for that huge amount of the players? Well, if you do that, then she's going to be way too good in the upper bracket again. So either you have to have her being way too garbage in the lower bracket, or she's going to be way too good in the upper bracket. Like, there's one or the other. You can't really have this character being good in both lower and upper bracket at the same time. And again, I need to go over this entire thing in a video by itself, and I'm going to try to come up with some possible solutions. I mean, I know Blizzard doesn't really listen to these kinds of solutions and these suggestions and stuff, but just for my own sake, I want to try to come up with some ideas that could make the character useful for the majority of the players and not be too strong for that upper bracket. So anyways, there you go, guys. That is your news for today. What do you think about these changes with the balance patch and the nerfs and the buffs? Let me know down below. Thanks for watching, and if you'd like to be comment of the video, then leave yours, and while you're at it, ring the bell so you never miss a new video. Also, if you want to get some cool gear, join my Discord server, or follow me on social media, then check out the links down below. And remember, always, always blame the controller, because it's never your fault.